Today we are talking about the Akko PC75B Plus, why it's a great keyboard and why I'm sending it back then. First of all, let's talk about the build quality, and I'm not gonna lie, I was fairly impressed with the build quality because I'm used to Logitech products. I mean, nearly all of my peripherals are from Logitech, and in my opinion, they have a very good build quality. So when I ordered from a smaller brand like Akko, I was a little bit worried that they can't hold up to these big players, but they delivered. This keyboard really feels solid, and it also has a nice weight to it because you can connect the keyboard wirelessly to your PC. It also got a battery inside of it, so it makes it heavier, and I just have the impression that for me a heavier keyboard or a heavier product also feels a little bit more premium, and this is also what applies to the Akko keyboard. In the box, Akko provides a dust cover for the keyboard, some extra blue keycaps to customize it, also a keycap puller so you can actually change the keycaps, and a 2.4 GHz adapter for the wireless connection, and also a cable for the wired connection. Talking about the connection, you can connect this keyboard to your Mac or Windows PC with a wired connection, wirelessly via Bluetooth, and also with a 2.4 GHz adapter. The Bluetooth connection actually works quite well, but it takes a little bit of time when you start your PC, because then it takes around 30 seconds or so for the keyboard to register. The 2.4 GHz adapter is total crap. You can't use it, it's missing keys. So if you want to connect the keyboard wirelessly to your PC and you don't have Bluetooth, then don't bother with this keyboard. You can't really use it except with the wired connection, which works pretty well because it's wired. When you want to use the software which Akko provides to customize the lighting on the keyboard, then you need to connect it to the 2.4 GHz adapter, which doesn't really work that well, or you connect it via a cable to your PC, which works the best. I was also a little bit concerned with the battery performance of this keyboard because, like I said, Akko is a smaller brand, but the battery does an exceptional job. I do have to say that I don't use it with the lighting on. I just very rarely put the lighting on just to see, oh my god, it's RGB, and have some fun with it. But 99% of the time I'm using it without RGBs, and I just charged it in the beginning, and now 30 days later it's still going from the first battery charge. The typing experience, oh my fucking god, people, it is so good. It feels like heaven. It's also so smooth, unbelievable. I'm having the JD White factory loop switches on my keyboard, so a very light switch with only 35 grams of actuation force. It just feels like butter. It's so smooth. Once you have pre-looped switches, you can never, or in general looped switches, you can never go back. It's so smooth. This really is unbelievable. I was just used to some more normal mechanical keyboards, and it's nothing like that. It's nothing like your cheap pre-built keyboard. This really feels like a premium device. So if you want a keyboard which sounds and feels amazing, then I can just highly recommend this keyboard with one of the factory looped switches, because it's a huge difference. I wasn't expecting it to be that big of a difference, but it feels so buttery smooth, people. It's hard to describe, but maybe you can get a better sense of it when you listen to the audio test right now. overall this really is a good device. So why am I changing back to my Logitech Craft keyboard, which feels absolutely shitty against this keyboard when you type on it? There are two reasons for it. The reason number one is that although I am using a wrist rest, the Keychron wrist rest, which actually works pretty well with this keyboard right here, my wrist still hurts after typing for a while. It's not a huge pain or something like that, but it's definitely noticeable that there are some tension in the wrist, and I don't have that on my Logitech Craft keyboard. And when you're spending so much time like I do in front of a screen, I don't want tension inside of my wrist, because if I'm spending every day 8 to 12 hours maybe on a PC, looking in the future, in my opinion, this can become a bigger problem when you always have some tension in the wrist. And it's also not like it has to be like that. There are other options like the Logitech Craft keyboard where I don't have this tension in my wrist. So that's one of the reasons I'm changing. And the other reason is that I'm wasting a lot of time with this keyboard. Because of this keyboard has such a nice typing experience, I also just casually type a lot more stuff on like Monkey Type, Typewriter, something like that, just to enjoy this keyboard. And while it's fun to do stuff like that, it's not really productive and it isn't the work I should be doing. And that's why I will be changing back to my Logitech Craft keyboard, which feels inferior, but in the end helps me be healthier in front of the PC and also helps me to be more productive. If you don't have a problem with your wrist when you use the mechanical keyboards, or if you also don't have a problem with productivity when using your keyboards, then I can just highly recommend this thing. It is such a great typing experience. And when you only had unlooped switches before and your standard mechanical keyboard, then I can highly recommend this thing. It will definitely be an improvement, and it will also be a lot of fun to type.